Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Eye Opener Society, and welcome back to our Thursday night sermon. And as I'm checking everything out here, I just want to make sure that we are actually broadcasting. It's one of those things I just got to check on my own because my dear friend Sarah is not here to take care of this here sort of stuff. So I just wanted to check, make sure we're doing this. Okay, looks like we are alive, and that is wonderful. So, anyway, welcome back to Eye Opener Society, and welcome back to our Thursday night sermon. Things are a little bit different here for me as I'm watching the screen because we're using some new software that we tried out for our next Monday with the ministers meeting. We're using Riverside. It's going to be our new hosting platform. We're really kind of excited about this. So, this is what we're doing. We're going to be trying a lot of this stuff out, and trial and error, as always, is probably going to be a few things that don't actually work, but looks like we're going well. So, speaking of that, speaking of my dear friend Sarah, I want to kind of make this sermon about her as well as my wife. So, let's get into it. I want to talk about something that I think every single one of us can relate to in one way or another, and that is healing. Now, this particular message is very special to me because there are some people I know personally who are going through healing right now, especially after surgery. My thoughts and my love are with those people tonight, but I don't want this message to be limited to just the people I know who are physically healing. I want to extend it to everyone because every one of us carries something that needs healing. Some of us are healing physically, while some of us are healing emotionally. And some of us are healing from things that happened years ago that nobody else even knows about. Now, I think that sometimes we forget just how many different forms of healing can actually take. We think about healing the scars on our bodies, and obviously that's one of a kind healing. Now, when we have surgery or when we suffer an injury, we actually see the process taking place. We can see the wound, we can see the scar forming. We can watch our bodies slowly return to a place where they feel stronger and more comfortable. But then there's a healing of the mind, and that kind of healing can be much harder to see. Then there is the healing of the heart, the healing of emotions, the healing of disappointment, grief, fear, anger, loss, and all those things that we sometimes carry around with us without ever talking about them. See, a physical wound can have stitches, and an emotional wound doesn't. And yet both of them still require care. Now, I want to be very clear about something before I go any further. This is just disclaimer. We're not doctors, and this is in no way going to, replace medical care that we need. But spiritual practices, energy work, meditation, prayer, positive thought, and self-love should never be viewed as a replacement for necessary medical treatment. So there's my disclaimer. However, them combined, there's a big difference there. See, I do believe something powerful about what we bring to the healing process ourselves, because our minds actually matter. The way we think matters. The way we speak to ourselves matters. The environment that we create around ourselves also matters. And when we're constantly telling ourselves that we're broken, that we're never going to get better, that something is wrong with us, or that we're going to remain stuck forever, we are creating an environment that is very different from the one we create when we begin telling ourselves, I am healing. I am getting stronger. I am allowing myself to recover. I am worthy of peace. Sometimes healing begins with the way we speak to ourselves. And I believe that self-love is an important part of that process. We spend so much time taking care of everybody else. We worry about our families. We worry about our friends. We worry about our jobs, money, everything happening around us. But when was the last time you stopped and said, I need to take care of me? When was the last time you put your attention on yourself and said, I deserve to heal? That's a powerful statement. I deserve to heal. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Now, you see, I was talking with Lizzie the other day, and she brought something up that really made sense to me. We were talking about what happens to us emotionally when we go through something like surgery. So, think about for a moment when you have surgery, your body is literally opened up. You're vulnerable, you're exposed, you're going through something that can be physically and emotionally overwhelming. See, sometimes I think our emotions become opened up right along with our bodies. Things that we've been holding inside can suddenly come to surface. Fear can come to the surface, and anxiety, along with memories, they all float to that surface. And when we're really vulnerable, we can sometimes feel like we're taking on everything around us. That's why I believe that during times of healing, we need to become very intentional about the energy and the environment that we surround ourselves with. If you're healing, surround yourself with people who make you feel safe. Surround yourself with people who encourage you and ones that will surround you with love. Give yourself permission to rest and give yourself permission to not be strong every single moment of every single day. And give yourself permission to heal at your own pace. One of the things I've been exploring more recently is energy work, particularly Reiki. I've been picking up books, reading, learning, and teaching myself more about the different approaches to energy healing. And one thing that keeps standing out to me is the idea that this isn't necessarily something that belongs to a select group of people. We all have energy. We all experience energy. We all affect the energy of the people around us. Walk into a room where everyone is angry and you will feel it. Walk into a room where everyone is laughing and happy, you feel that too. So you don't necessarily need somebody to explain it to you, you just feel it. And that makes me wonder, if we can feel the energy around us, what can we do with the energy within us? That's something I'm continuing to explore. See, I don't have all the answers, and I'm learning just like everyone else. But I believe there is a value in exploring these things and discovering what works for us personally. And that's where I want to take this idea of healing. I want us to start looking at healing as something that involves the whole person. Take care of your body, take care of your mind, take care of your heart, and then take care of your spirit. If you're recovering from surgery tonight, perhaps take a few moments when you're comfortable and place your hands gently near the area you're healing. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to make anything happen. Just simply become aware of yourself. Think about healing. Think about strength. Think about peace. Imagine that area of your body surrounded by warmth, love, positive energy, and then simply say to yourself, I'm healing. I'm allowing my body to recover. I'm giving myself permission to rest. I am surrounding myself with love. And if you're not recovering from surgery, you can still do this because maybe the wound you're dealing with isn't on your skin. Maybe it's in your heart. Maybe someone hurt you. Maybe someone walked away. Maybe you lost someone. And maybe you're carrying something from your past that you never really allowed yourself to release. So maybe you're angry at yourself for something you did years ago. All right. Maybe you're still waiting for an apology that you're never going to get. Those wounds deserve healing too. And sometimes the first step isn't forgetting what happened. That first step is simply deciding that what happened to you is no longer going to control the rest of your life. Healing doesn't mean pretending something never happened. Healing means learning how to carry your experiences without allowing them to continue destroying your peace. That's something every one of us can work towards. So tonight, I want you to think about what healing means to you, not what somebody else says healing should look like. What does it mean to you? What part of you needs attention right now? Your body, mind, heart, spirit? And what can you do, even in a small way, to begin giving that part of yourself some love? Hey, maybe it's just resting. Maybe it's forgiving yourself. Maybe it's letting go. Maybe it's spending some quiet time alone. Maybe you need to reach out to someone or simply putting your hands over your heart and reminding yourself that you are still here. You are still moving around and you're still capable of healing. As I continue learning about Reiki and different forms of energy work, I'll be sharing more of what I discover with all of you because I'm looking at a different way to approach energy work that is more purposeful, meaningful, and centered around helping people to connect with their own ability to care for themselves. I don't want this to be about somebody telling you that they have all the answers. I want it to be about exploration. I want it to be about learning. I want it to be about discovering what exists within each of us. Because maybe the most important thing that we can learn is that healing is not something that happens only to us. Healing is something we can participate in. We can choose thoughts we feed and the way energy we surround ourselves with. And we can choose how we speak to ourselves and what we choose to give ourselves the same compassion that we so freely give to everyone else. And this brings in many people who are in these prayer groups, prayer warriors. This is the same thing. It's energy work. So tonight, whether you're healing from a surgery, healing from an emotional wound, healing from a broken heart, or simply trying to find a little more peace in your life, I want you to know that you're not alone. Take your time. Be patient with yourself. Love yourself and allow yourself to heal. My name is Gary Dean, founding minister of Eye Opener Society. I thank you so much for listening. I'm going to bring the stage now to our cosmic fairy princess, Lizzie. I'm so excited to have her. Lizzie, the spotlight is all you. Hang on. Hey, Lizzie, you have no sound coming through, buddy. Nope. I don't know what happened. Yeah, there's nothing coming through. Hang on a second. We'll see if we can fix these are the problems we have. It's not a big deal. We'll work it out. I'm looking. Yeah, I don't have anything. Did you want to jump out and come back in? Yeah, and we'll see if that resets it. Yeah, this is what happens. Not a big deal. Like I say, we're dealing with new equipment. Riverside, it's fantastic, but this is what happens every now and then. But anyway, Lizzie will be returning, and there she is. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you fine now.
Okay.
Woo. All right. The spotlight is back on you.
Okay. So today I wanted to talk about appreciation and gratitude. You'll often hear that the road to your manifestation is paved in gratitude. And I think this is because the frequency of gratitude is the same as readiness to receive. For many of us, we've woven a lot of shadows into the state, and we can find a lot and shift really anything you need through our language. And understanding gratitude is actually probably one of the best ways to like have a little example here. It's not what you say, but how you say it and why you chose the words that you chose. And I don't know about any of you, but most people that I talk to haven't actually really looked up definitions since elementary school. So it's always nice to have a little refresher. Okay, so gratitude on Google is the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for, and to return kindness. That's it. That's just the what it says there. So what I do here is I ask myself some questions. How do you show gratitude? How do you best receive gratitude? When is it necessary to express gratitude and when is it simply implied? How much of our energy put towards expressing gratitude is about engaging with the frequency, and how much of it is about social politeness and expectation? How much of that have you thought about? Because either way, it's woven into the vibe you put about it, which is why I've been playing with the words the way that I have recently. Okay, so let me say that definition again. The quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. So, three words to then do the same thing: thankful, appreciation, and kindness. Thankful is simply being pleased and relieved. That's it. Appreciation is the recognition and enjoyment of something that you are aware of. And kindness is the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. So, gratitude, if you really break down all the words, is the recognition and enjoyment of what you received that you like or helps you in some way, in a state of being willing to return the kindness of being friendly, generous, and considerate in return. Notice how the definition is evolving. See how the definition orients around a state of being and not actually specifying how or when or how much to return the favor? If you read it, it actually doesn't say that receiving comes with an obligation to return anything, except the very state of being friendly, generous, and considerate, recognizing what you've been given and what it can do for you. So let's look into those words: friendly, generous, and considerate. Friendly, again, just kind and pleasant, denoting something that is adapted for or not harmful to a specified thing, favorable or serviceable. Generous is showing a readiness to give more of something, like money, time, etc., than is strictly necessary or expected. Considerate is careful not to cause inconvenience or harm to others, showing careful thought. So, gratitude is the quality of being pleased and relieved. It's a readiness to show recognition and enjoyment of something and return a favorable energy. It's sharing a readiness to give more than is strictly necessary expected and giving thought to not harming them in return. That's like really loaded. And although the above specificness helps kind of explore and make your intentions very specific, uh, it can change your perspective on what qualities as the expression of gratitude as well as ways to approach the manifestation through said gratitude. But if you can't reasonably repeat it, like I would have to take so long to memorize that. It's not going to make as much of an impact on you or your life. Not that you have to memorize it, but if you got into a discussion with someone on what a certain word means, whether or not you can give an accurate picture of your intention is the difference between your new quote definition, whether it'll do anything for you in the quantum field or not. The word isn't the magic. The word itself, irrelevant. It's your meaning behind the word. That's what makes it magic. For me to focus down, I'd first take out any concern about causing harm because for me, I've woven that deeply into my work for some time now. So I consider that parameter as assumed and not necessarily, it's not necessary to state it. Sometimes I do if I feel like it, but um, it also, readiness to show also orients a lot around performance and social politeness, which I try really hard to separate that from like actual morality. So I just cut that out of the quantum definition as well. So what I'm left with is gratitude equals the recognizing that you will enjoy what you've received, a willingness to share in the energy of being pleased and relieved with what you have, and willingness to give back. To give and receive from gratitude is an exchange of energy that is assumed, but is not quantified or necessarily even directed. Nobody experiences lack or a remove of something, hence the harming none. When you give in gratitude, you then can't give something that would hurt you not to have, or you otherwise wouldn't be giving in gratitude. Therefore, no specific return is necessary. Nothing needs to come back to make things like even. To give from gratitude is to trust that what you are giving is not needed and that the energy will be returned in whatever way is like best for you. And this does best operate when you leave it open for the universe to kind of surprise you. It makes it a little bit more fun that way too. And then on the flip side, to receive in gratitude really is to trust what you're receiving was given in gratitude, and you allow yourself space to enjoy what is received and shared in the energy of gratitude and exchange. Nowhere does it actually share an obligation. I think that's really a patriarchal expectation. Nowhere does it even say that it involves another person. It can be expressed, but the expression of it is actually an internal process by nature. Sharing a quality of yourself, sharing a willingness, sharing the idea that you are pleased and will enjoy it. All of this is more of an essence than a step by step. And that's what makes it an internal process, even if you do return an immediate favor or say thank you or, however you handle it. Gratitude is it's a feeling. It's not something that can be quantifiable and or even really given. But if you were to quantify it and have a step by step thing, then this would be my step by step. So first, you recognize what you've received. Two, you enjoy it. Three, you allow the favorable energy and willingness to give more than necessary to exist in and around you. No obligation either way, no loss either direction. And not to throw like so much at you, but I did initially bring this up in relation to manifestation. And so it almost feels neglectful to not acknowledge one of the additional definitions of appreciation, which is the increase of monetary value, like the appreciation of your house or other assets. And the thing about appreciation is you don't really have to put in any effort. You just care for it and the value increases, right? So genuine appreciation, recognition, and enjoyment is enough for recognizing exchange and having all involved experience their best appreciation, as in rise in quote value. Gratitude as the state of being is simply ready to receive, ready to give, ready to participate in the exchange of your inner and collective cosmos. So it's like living life and enjoying it and appreciating it with vibe and care and love. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Lizzie. That was again beautiful. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us. And just a reminder, if you did not catch this show live, we do record these. However, we've made a small change that if you are on any podcast platform, it's going to be audio only. If you wish to see us in video form, we are on YouTube and BitChute, BITCHUTE. Those are our two main hosting platforms for our video from this point forward. So, again, I want to thank everyone for joining Lizzie and I wish you all well, and we will see you on the next Thursday night sermon.